Hello and welcome to Not Another Sox podcast. I am Jack Webster, along here with Matt Galveo and Matt LeBeau. Inaugural podcast here. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick and say one fun thing that you did over the summer?
I'm Matt Galveo. I'm pumped to get the boys back here and record a funny story. This is actually our second time recording this first episode. Tough look on me. Did not get the audio situated in the first one. But we're back here. Thank you guys for joining me again. Looking forward to it. Talking some Sox with the boys here, and look forward to many more episodes to come.
Yep, absolutely. That sounds feels like deja vu, but that's all right. I am Matt with two T's, and we can make the same jokes that we made in the last one about being less Portuguese and being French Canadian. But Nonetheless, I feel like this is good. This is the second time around, so we're ready to rock. First time was just a practice round.
Yeah, it was a prank.
It was a prank, exactly.
It was a prank.
You knew what you were doing. You purposely did not record your own audio, just so we could keep talking with the boys here, talking some Sox after a big day.
Because Jack, I do not get enough of you Monday through Friday.
Yep.
Hey, we're working weekends now, too. So we don't get enough of each other.
Thanks for reminding me.
But nonetheless, I've been a Red Sox fan since I was 5 years old. Just excited to talk with the boys. Just like we're just back at the lunch table and elementary school or back at work or whatever. It's just fun. We're gonna keep it loose, keep it funny and entertaining, and at least we will try.
Now give me a snack pack.
Yeah.
Oh man. So let's dive right into it here. Matt LeBeau, I know you were at the game last night, Red Sox Yankees wild card game here. And just describe that atmosphere. You were right in the thick of things, right in the Fenway crowd there. So what was that like, man, last night?
Now, the October juice was flowing, but definitely it was an awesome time. It was an awesome atmosphere. I mean, in terms of sporting events, in terms of Red Sox games, in terms of Boston, big Boston sports games, I mean, it's about as crazy of an atmosphere as I've ever experienced. And it's about as crazy of an atmosphere that I can probably say I probably will ever experience. Just hostile, but fun. The fans so engaged. Everyone was so engaged. Fans were great. Fans were loud. It was great. I'm just so glad they won. They pulled it out. I mean, I've been thinking about it ever since. I know we're still all riding a high. So It's like everything that you do today is like nothing sucks. It's like you're pumping gas. Who gives a fuck? Red Sox beat the Yankees. Like it's like stub your toe, greatest fucking stub toe you've ever had in your entire life. Red Sox beat the Yankees in a 1-game playoff. It's awesome. You're just riding a high. So,
I think the New York Post said it best when they said we're their daddies now, and I think that's absolutely true. I mean, going back all the way to 2004, they have one win against us in the playoffs since Dave Roberts stole that base.
Yep.
And the Yankees have killed the turtle, by the way. Bronxie's dead.
It really seemed like just blatant animal abuse when they were pouring beer and champagne on him. He's not even 21, so I think a lot of the people should be arrested there.
Yep.
I've already been in contact with the FBI, the CIA.
You tagged them on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. They need to know that Bronxie died for their sins.
Yep.
And they're still not absolved of this because it was just tragic the way that the second Hunter Renfroe caught that ball from Garrett Whitlock pitching in the 9th inning there. Bronxie died immediately, and
he died.
And it's just straight up animal abuse.
Yep. Rest in piss, Bronxie. I mean, you got to feel bad. You got to feel bad for the young turtle. I mean, just gets abused by the Yankees. But the thing is, it's like you had to know that you were going to kill the turtle. I mean, the Yankees are doomed as a franchise. I mean, it's not fair to that animal to bring him in and be like, you're our good luck charm. All of a sudden, like if I was a turtle, I'd be like, dude, like you guys stink. Please, you're going to kill me. You're going to kill me. And then
they didn't even get to see him in Toronto because they weren't able to bring him in.
They would have left him at the border.
He went to Fenway. He came to Yankee Stadium, and then he came back to Fenway, and he just fucking died.
He died. Yep.
He's in the Charles now.
But also fuck Bronxie. So.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Say it again, Jack. Fuck him.
Fuck Bronxie. All my homies hate Bronxie.
Anti-Bronxie podcast.
Anti-Bronxie for sure. Yeah, so just let's get right into the game here. Early on, Bogey hits that home run, to put him up early, and I feel like going actually before that, Stanton gets that big blast that John Sterling had the fabulous call of. And, just shy of the home run there, but
Giancarlo, no Cimbaro.
Yeah.
Wait, did I mess up? What did I see here? Yeah, I can't imagine Joe Castiglione ever doing anything quite like that. No. It was honestly pretty hilarious. I didn't see it until this morning, truth be told, but when I saw it, like I've probably watched that video 1,000 times by now. If there was a way to put that video on a t-shirt, I would wear it every day. And
I mean, just absolutely amazing. And I know I've been saying this, but I think what he did was he just thought it was gone and he just started reading his cue card. And he just looked up, and all of a sudden he was on first. And what did I do? What did I do? I mean, that's just a classic quote, classic line. I mean, that's absolutely just the best. Just so many things the Yankees like do and have done in the past 3 or 4 years, where they just look so stupid. Like it started with the Aaron Judge, like the New York, in the concourse in 2018, and then now like just so many freaking things. It's just they're like almost like. They're like a more successful version of the Mets in a lot of ways. It's like
they attract it to themselves. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
They just can't get out of their own way. It seems like
exactly
with the antics, with the off field antics. It's like,
right.
It's crazy. But I mean, if Stanton connects on that one and that's in the monster, I mean,
just about any other ballpark that's gone. That is like 50 rows into the seats there, and it's a 1-0 ball game. And he had another one later in the game that we'll get to as well.
And I feel like that momentum just like instantly shifts if he cashes in on that hit.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. And honestly, it was like, I feel like it was like a boost for the Red Sox to, have him pimp a single and, not get into scoring position, and then to get the next out. I mean, that was just, I feel like that was a momentum boost for the Red Sox, and was like, all right, we got out of this. Eovaldi only had like 11 or 12 pitches in the first inning, something like that. And then, bottom of the first, Xander. And honestly, it was so unexpected. It was just like, he's been struggling. Obviously Cole, so tough, especially in the early innings. And I mean, Xander just absolutely got a hold of one, and the place went on its head. It was just absolutely erupted. It was fantastic. Very, very timely, very needed.
Yeah, so I was at a bar with a boss of ours actually while we were watching the game in the first inning there. And of course, he's in enemy territory. I lived in New Jersey for a year, so I understand what that feeling's like. But after that Bogarts 2-run home run, I'm screaming. I grabbed onto him just by the shoulder there. He takes a chicken wing and lightly dabs it on my dress shirt after an event that we were just doing there. And everybody that we're with, we're a group with like 10 people. They're just like, what the fuck are you doing? This is just the most out of pocket thing for an employer to do to somebody off his hours. And he asked me personally twice to show up. And I was just like, sure, I'll come for one drink. And then he pulls that shit immediately.
Show up.
And yeah,
Show up to get dabbed with sauce.
Yeah, exactly. And he did Venmo me immediately for my dry cleaning and everything, but it was so bad that he had to address it at our morning meeting today. Like he came in, basically accepted that he was going to get shit on all day because his team is a fucking joke of a franchise that hasn't done shit since I was in middle school and won't continue to do shit until I have a middle schooler myself in 50 years.
Yep.
And
yep.
But yeah, it was
also
honestly
fuck your future kid.
Yeah. My dog is right here.
Oh, Petey.
Good old Petey.
No,
For the people watching on YouTube.
I'd love to
Yeah, there
he is.
There he is.
That was the first time I heard that story. So the last time when we initially recorded for everyone, that you told me that story and I never heard it before. You're saving it for the podcast, right? So now I heard the story once before. So I'd love to say that was the first time I heard it, but it wasn't. But the first time I heard it, I was absolutely shook. I was just in shock.
Yeah, because he's a very professional boss, very good to have for the most part. I mean, so the fact that if it was anybody else, I might have punched him in the fucking face. But
that's such a disrespectful thing, and it's short of.
Also, why waste your fucking chicken wing? My shirt is. You don't know where my shirt is.
I don't know. I definitely don't.
I got it at Savers. The dry cleaning's gonna cost more than the fucking shirt itself.
And that's why we love you, Jack.
Yeah, no, big Savers guy. Savers guy.
How do you know?
You find some gems there.
They find me.
Yeah. But it has been dubbed Wingate, and I did make the Castellanos reference in the middle of his morning address, which he definitely did. He appreciated. So yeah, but no, I mean, like you said, Jack, Bogaerts hits that home run, and then I feel like you just immediately felt, even through the TV, you just felt that Fenway. The emotion, the vibe in that building just completely flipped. And really, I feel like after that just shifted the momentum for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Well, I was a little worried after that Schwarber home run. We got two guys on with no out. And I mean, credit to Clay Holmes right there, getting out of it with no runs. I actually thought that killed a little bit of momentum that we had there, but Nate Eovaldi really kept us in that game, and I mean, he was the stud that night.
Yeah. I know we touched on it a little bit earlier or the last show, but I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of them taking him out at the time. It was I understood it because it was the third time through the order, and they've been burnt on that so many times this year. So I kind of got it, but. Then they brought in Brazier, and Brazier gave up an absolute missile to Stanton. So, I mean, they got really lucky with the relay. I mean, Kike and Xander cutting them down at home, cutting Judge down at home. I mean, that's
perfect execution there.
Yeah,
it was an unbelievable send from my point of view that they would even get one run while still trailing. Well, they were able to have second and third with one out. You have Gallo coming up. I know he has some swing and miss in his game, but you basically have two chances to drive both of those runs in, and you killed yourself your inning there.
Yep.
And then, I mean, immediately after that, I think that was when Verdugo had that RBI double off of Severino. And I feel like that really killed any momentum that the Yankees might have had, and really, got us back into the swing of things too.
Yeah, no, that was just the killer. That was absolutely the killer. The terrible send. I mean, Phil Nevin, baseball legend, but obviously, I mean, the Yankee fans wanted him dead, DEAD last night.
Much like Bronxie.
Yeah. They want everybody dead. Yeah. Rip in peace, Bronxie.
Right.
But no, that I actually listened to the Short Porch podcast today because I just wanted to hear them fucking cry.
Yep.
And apart from Judge and Stan, Yankees fans want to just clean house right now.
Yeah.
Because they had their core for the last 5-6 years now, Judge and Stan and everybody. And they haven't been able to do shit. They had their best chance. What was it in 2017 or 2019 when they had were facing the Houston Astros, and Altuve walked them off. And I mean, since then, they have not become a better baseball team. They thought they were by adding Garrett Cole, who's the biggest fraud in baseball. But, I can't see them winning with this same team right now, even with a few additions here. It's too tough of a division.
I agree. Yeah.
Well,
Garrett
you're missing.
Cole.
Yeah. Well, you're missing it, Jack, because Aaron Boone did say the MLB is catching up to the Yankees.
That's right.
And that's why.
Closing the
So,
gap.
I mean, they're closing the gap, really.
Closing the gap.
Which is
it's only been 20 years.
Yeah, which is an absolute bizarre thing to say, considering this core and this group with Aaron Boone hasn't even reached a World Series.
Right. Not only that, but now they've also lost to basically two entirely different Red Sox teams. 2018, obviously the fingerprints were there. You had Bogarts. I mean, Devers was like splitting time with Nunez. So he wasn't really like a true member of the core. Obviously, you had Vasquez, you had Sale. A lot of the guys on that team have their fingerprints on this team. But, I mean, look at the guys that actually made up that outfield. Benintendi, Bradley, Betts. I mean, you lost to a completely different Red Sox team in 2018. You lost to them again. The same group lost to two different Red Sox teams now. I mean, like, if I'm a Yankee fan, I'm fucking losing my mind right now. Like, I would be losing my mind. And, I mean, I got to be honest. Like, I really, like, I don't feel bad because I fucking hate them. And, but I would be beside myself right now. If I lost a 1-game playoff to the Red Sox and I was a Yankee fan, like, imagine if we were doing this and we just lost the Yankees. I mean,
I mean, not to sound complacent, but I mean, I feel like this team didn't really have a lot of expectations coming in, especially after that lackluster 2020 year with Ron Renicky. But I mean, I would obviously would have been bad if we lost the Yankees. I feel like it would have been worse if we just didn't make it at all, though, which was looking like it might have been the case going into that last weekend of the season there against the Nationals. But this team showed up. They've been resilient all year. They've had their ups and downs, but hopefully you can just stay hot here against the Rays moving forward as well.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I mean, the way that obviously they came out swinging against the Yankees. That's what you needed to do. And Garrett Cole, I mean, $30 million fraud. I heard someone say last night, Kermit the Fraud.
Kermit the Fraud,
yeah. Kermit the Fraud. Yeah.
Oh, gee, guys. Yeah.
For Pete's sake.
Oh, what did he say last night? He's like, "Oh, I'm just sick to my stomach right now. I'm just sick to my stomach."
Like, where are you? Like, where are you from? Like, what are you from? Like, a 1940s book? Like,
but I mean, and now Schwarber has took him deep, with the Pirates and now with the Yankees.
Yeah, in a wild card game.
In the wild card game,
Yeah,
he just doesn't know how to show up to the big moment. He never had to when he was with the Pirates. He didn't get the chance to in Game 7 against the Nationals in 2019.
Yep.
And now he's, pooping the bed with the Yankees again. I don't even think he was particularly good in the, kind of weird playoff situation that we had last year. They beat the Twins, but nope, anybody could beat the Twins in the playoffs, it seemes.
Absolutely.
In the words
and the
of,
whole,
go ahead.
I was going to say the whole evil empire is back with Eric Hubbs and him saying, everyone, fear the Yankees. Garrett Cole, you're gonna win championships the next decade, every championship the next decade. He stinks. It's horrible.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, at least. He's a good pitcher, but he can't pitch in the playoffs.
Which is what you're paying him for, really.
And they got how many more years? Like 7 more years?
Yeah. Long time. I think it was a 10. It was a
I think he signed like a 9. I think it was like a 9-year deal. Yeah.
It was 9/3/24, I believe. So I mean, you're making over $25 million or $35 million a year, really, to not even be as good as the MLB.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
just a tough look all
Yeah.
around. But yeah, I mean, that's his, huge win for the Sox. And I don't know if you guys had any other points that you wanted to touch on, as far as the wild card game goes. I don't know. Yeah. Did you guys have anything?
No, I mean, it was just obviously wicked fun time. A lot of chirps at Yankee fans.
Yeah. You're right in the thick of it.
Right in the thick of
Yeah.
it, telling all the Guidos to get the fuck out. Yeah.
You're people forget you are an ESPN legend.
I was on ESPN.
Yes.
Yep. I was on ESPN.
You were. That's right.
Drinking a beer. Caught me drinking a beer.
One thing I did want to touch upon about how poetic it was that Garrett Whitlock was the guy that ended the Yankee season there.
Yes.
A guy they just gave up on that could have been a starting pitcher for them this year even.
Yep.
And, might be that for us down the road here. Ended your season because you literally gave him away to your rival for free.
Yep.
And not only that, they gave us, Ottavino for free, who's had his ups and downs. I know he struggled recently, but I think he has pitched some really meaningful innings for us this year,
For sure.
and probably will in October here. And not to mention, he got a cup of coffee this year, but that kid, Caleb Ort, was doing really well in Worcester. And they just gave up on all these guys and let them go to your rival for no money at all. It is, I don't understand how Brian Cashman can still have a job after this offseason here.
They got rid of Ottavino to clear luxury tax room to re-sign Brett Gardner. I mean, just an all-time bad move. But also Eovaldi, he was a Yankee at one point too. So he started the game. Whitlock finished it. Two former Yankee pitchers, sandwich the game. I mean, that's what you dream of as a Red Sox fan when you want to shove it in Yankee fans' face that it's like you had these guys. I mean, Eovaldi, he could easily be on the Yankees right now. They could have easily worked something out to keep him. So, I mean, you just absolutely have to love it. You have to love it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they brought up on the ESPN on the Statcast broadcast that we were that I was watching, and right when Whitlock came out there in the ninth, they mentioned it. They were like, I don't know if Alex Cora, had this in mind, but I mean, Garrett Whitlock finishing that game, and they used those same words that you just said, LeBeau. It was poetic. I mean, it was almost like a storybook ending to this game where the guy that, came from New York is now closing them out and eliminating them from the postseason.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. And you have to just freaking love that as a Red Sox fan. You just have to love it. It's great. Yeah. We were lucky. We were lucky to be blessed with a freaking wild card game against the Yankees. I mean, that's like I remember when the wild card game came out and the whole idea of it came out, and it was like, all right, the MLB said, we're going to do this. The first thought in everyone's mind is, what the fuck would happen if the Red Sox and the Yankees played in a wild card game?
Yeah.
Like that was like the first thought everyone had. And I just remember thinking like, it's going to happen eventually. Like it took a long time, but it happened. And I mean, it did not disappoint. It was electric. It was electric, man. Right.
No, and I'm a big fan of the 1-game wild card. I think, produced some good moments here throughout the season. I know some people want it to be 3 games, and I feel like I probably wouldn't even watch if it was, half the opponents. But 1 game, feed me that.
That's the thing. It's like it's a battle between the best non-division winners. You don't deserve multiple chances to get into the playoffs. Like it's a fight to the death, 1-game playoff. That's the position that you put yourself in by being an inferior team to someone in your division. I'm not saying that means you're a bad team. It just means that you didn't win your division. That's the punishment you get, and you got to battle it out. So, and who knows what can happen? Who knows what can happen? I mean, the Yankees, they're veterans of the wild card game. They practically invented the fucking thing. I remember I watched them against, I think they played Houston when Houston had Keuchel back in the day. They beat the A's in 2018. Severino pitched. He pitched really well in that game. That was a fun game to watch.
Yeah. They had one against the Twins, I think, right?
I'm not sure. They played a series series against the Twins pretty recently, right?
I think they played a series against the Twins. Maybe that was 2019 when they faced them, because that does feel familiar, where like one of the teams grabbed an early lead and then basically the Yankees just kind of throat fucked them throughout the rest of the game there. And then, same thing. They didn't end up doing shit the rest of the year. Yeah. That actually might have been 2018 because we faced the Yankees in the first round. So that means that
2018 they played the A's.
They played. It was okay. Was the A's then? Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe 2017 that the year they broke out. I think they might have beat the Twins in the wild card game.
I think that's the one that I'm thinking of then. Yeah.
They broke out that year, and then they lost obviously on the Altuve. Or that was 17.
Yeah. No, 17 they lost in a game 7. I think even it might have been like Charlie Bourne who threw like a complete game or something. 2019 was the Altuve home run, because I was at a New York City bar when what was it? DJ LeMahieu hit that go-ahead home run, and it was as loud as any other place I've been before. And then for Altuve to hit that walk-off home run, it was silent. They changed the music like right away after that. That's season awesome. Over. Yep. It was absolutely great. It was like me and like 2 other Red Sox fans just like lightly cheering because we didn't want to get stabbed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in Manhattan at least. It's not like we're deep in the Bronx or any other, or like Staten Island, God forbid.
Staten Italy. What's this guy doing?
Oh man, but that would have upped your street cred, Jack. Really, if you got stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have had to stab them back and get like a teardrop tattoo to show that I killed a man before. So, I'm glad it didn't happen, and I'm glad the Yankees are still just a joke of a fucking franchise.
Yep, they are. I mean, it's fucking awesome, really. I mean, I can't say it enough. It's just beaming all day today that you actually eliminated the Yankees in a one-game playoff, especially after that sweep. The Vasquez dropped third strike, and then the Judge double. I mean, that was devastating. I remember where I was like mentally after that game, and after that Judge double and the Stanton home run after the double, and it was like, dude, like this can't get any worse. And then
it kind of had 2011 vibes almost.
Oh,
I mean, I know 2011 we had like a 9-game lead heading into September or something like that.
Yep.
And the expectations were different this year, and we weren't in that same position. But it felt like the sky was falling at that point. And then you lose 2 out of 3 to the Orioles, and you basically have to sweep the Nationals to save your season, because the Blue Jays weren't going to lose to the Orioles. There wasn't a chance of that, and the Mariners were in it. And, Yankees were still, in that hunt as well. You kind of assume that wild card game was going to be played at Yankee Stadium. And I feel like that really did change a lot of things.
Yep.
No,
absolutely.
And it definitely did. And I mean, kind of what we touched upon the first time we recorded really was that, no one really thought that this Red Sox team would, maybe make it, this far to the ALDS. And, after a really shitty 2020 campaign, I mean, this was something that was unexpected.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it's a gift, really. I mean, it's great that we're on the eve of game 1 of the ALDS against a very good team in the Rays.
Yeah. No, like I said, I mean, it is, you hit the nail on the head. It's definitely a gift. This team definitely earned it. They're a good team. And, like I remember going back to the deadline, and it was like, you got Robles and you got Schwarber and you got Big Fudge. And it was like, the moves were obviously criticized, which rightfully so. I mean, at the time you desperately needed a first baseman. Obviously then Bobby has absolutely exploded. So a lot of those issues have worked themselves out, but Schwarber was obviously the guy that you wanted. Like the first few weeks after they made the deal, obviously it looked bad because he didn't even suit up, but and Rizzo was like on fire. So I was like, oh, they should have got Rizzo. But I mean, Schwarber was the guy. He definitely was the guy they needed. So he gets on base, hits home runs, he hits freaking bombs. I mean, you gotta love it. Just it just ended up being a good move.
And that was a great bat
No,
to add right at the deadline.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
No, he did absolutely amazing with the Nationals. He was hitting leadoff home runs like it was nobody's business in the month of June and July there before he got hurt.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm still even a little questionable about him at first. He's shown definitely that he's not experienced there, and that's why it's really good that Bobby Dahlback has actually stepped up. But now, that problem kind of fixed itself with JD Martinez getting hurt in the most bizarre way possible. And quite frankly, a game that he shouldn't have been playing the outfield in because National League rules are dumb.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of ironic to lose your DH running out to the outfield because you have to, bat your pitcher. I mean, it is bullshit, but I mean, he is going to be on the roster for the division series. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll heal fast and he can.
Another reason why it's dumb is you had to take Tanner Houck out after 5 perfect innings just because his spot in the order came up. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even disagree with that. You kind of also have to be in the mindset that now he's going to be pitching big innings out of the bullpen come October, which he did on Tuesday night there in the wild card game. So that's why I don't disagree with him taking him out right there in that game. But I think he's going to be a major weapon for us. He can pitch 2-3 innings, depending on how many times he goes around the order and how much he's been used. So I actually feel pretty confident with this pen moving forward into the playoffs here.
I do too.
You had mentioned LeBeau the first time that we, when we recorded earlier on. I mean, it's a sneaky deep bullpen. And now that you can add Houck, who's, he's 18 up, 18 down the last 18 batters he's faced. I mean, if you can get that, what he did last night, if you can get that going forward in the playoffs, I mean, that's huge.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you have some guys now that you can go to where you're kind of deep. It's kind of coming together all at once. That's how it works. I mean, bullpens there, it's very fluid. It changes. It's like 2018, Frazier came out of nowhere. Ironically, it looks like he's kind of doing that again. This year, it looks like now Houck is going to solidify himself as a bullpen option. So that got bolstered there. And then who knows? I mean, another guy could find himself. Obviously, you have Whitlock. He's one of the best relievers in the game. But, you got Robles, you got Ottavino. I mean, who knows? Maybe Matt Barnes can turn around. I mean, if they can give him some outings, maybe get his feet underneath him. So many things can happen. The playoffs, bottom line is the playoffs is a crapshoot. You don't know what's going to happen. You sneak in, you get some momentum, bats get hot. All of a sudden, you're looking at, Game 7 of the ALCS, and anything can happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals are tied with the Dodgers right now in the top of the 5th inning.
I just was looking back. Your
boy Max Scherzer do it on the mound, Jack.
Yeah, I know. Big Max Scherzer guy, for those of you who don't know. The Nationals are my second team growing up in the DC area. Sox are always going to be number 1 in my heart here, and it filled me with so much joy that the Nats lost games and got a better draft pick, and the Sox won those games to give my favorite team an actual chance in the playoffs here. Now. So it was a win-win. It was a win-win.
Yep, very, very good storyline for you specifically, being from the DC area and having the Red Sox sweep the Nationals to get into the playoffs, and you're going to get a better draft pick out of it for the Nats. So that's good. Yeah. That's good. But the Nats, they lost a lot of guys this year. They tore it apart.
They're gonna be shit for a while here.
Right. But
it's just the reality of the situation.
They did it right though. I mean, they didn't overspend. They spent when they needed to. They developed talent.
They got the ring. That's all that matters at the end of the
World
day.
Series ring. That's all that matters. Yeah. So
it's really all. Yeah. So yeah, we like we mentioned earlier, we're on the eve of Game 1 of the ALDS against the Rays. Very, very talented team. So yeah, Game 1 tomorrow night, 7:00 at the Trop.
Full house, I imagine.
Pack barn. At the
Apparently,
Trop.
they've only sold like 25,000 tickets there. So if you want, you can buy them face value still, which was not the case for Fenway Park the other night.
It's unbelievable.
Sometimes I wish.
Is it unbelievable? I totally believe it.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it's unbelievable as far as like an actual professional sports team not being able to sell out a playoff game. It's crazy.
Well, while they knew they were going to be that top card for
Right.
at least a week now, and probably even beyond that, realistically, like it, I actually had tickets for the wild card game on Tuesday, and I ended up having to sell them, and they could have sold for, double the amount that I paid for them, just because people wanted to go to that game and, actually experience, Red Sox Yankees. But it's a little bit of a different feel. Red Sox Rays. I mean, I know there's been bad blood in the past, but because there's been so much turnover between these two teams, I don't feel like there's true bad blood right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely, the organizations have some intensity. I remember going back to, the Johnny Gomes and, the Coco Crisp, James Shields, that brawl there with fucking Johnny Gomes wailing on Coco Crisp's back. And definitely some bad blood, some anger. Like, I hate Tampa. Like, I associate the Rays with just so much hatred. Like the cowbell, that fucking cowbell, it would, like, after the first couple of games, I'm going to go to bed like hearing that freaking cowbell, and it
was like those vuvuzelas in the World Cup a few years ago. Yeah.
It's just like that. It's just like that, and it torments you. And like when that place gets loud, it does kind of get loud, although it's a dump. Yeah, I mean, I don't like playing there. It's always a horror story with the Red Sox in Tampa. There's always a fucking tragedy, like this season with what was it? The pass ball, Pivetta. He was throwing a perfect game.
Yeah, I think he threw like 6 and change, no hit ball, and then I think it was a Matt Barnes wild pitch or pass ball, like 1-0 game, and I actually just looked it up. We went 8-11 against the Rays this year. If we went 9-10, I would even have a better feeling, because that means one game kind of might have actually swung something here. But
right.
They played better against us this year, and I mean, they played well against just about everybody else. It seems like they're able to just pick any prospect out of Durham and have him be an ace, have him actually be an impactful bat. And I mean, they're still one of the top ranked farm systems in baseball year in and year out, because they, are kind of forced to trade away anybody that's approaching free agency and has any value at all, which is sad for a team that's been consistently good over the last decade for the most part now.
Yeah, it's hard to get the fan base behind them when they don't have players to root for. I mean, they have some good players there now, but I mean, they're going to trade most of the guys. If you're a fan and you're trying to like fall in love with a team or fall in love with a player, I mean, how can you? Because they're just going to get traded.
Yeah,
and it's how it works over there. So
exactly. So
just fucking move them. God damn it.
100%. Montreal.
Well, there was talks.
I'm actually on the Nashville train, but I can still fucks with Montreal still.
I just think the Montreal is a good fit because there's a natural rivalry there between Boston and Montreal because of the hockey rivalry.
Yep.
I think that now you have another rivalry with Toronto and Montreal.
Yep.
You have a Canada rivalry. Geographically, it makes so much sense. I mean, Montreal is closer to Boston than Nashville, and same with New York and obviously Toronto. So
probably about the same for Baltimore, even.
Probably about the same. Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore would be the most southern team. So, I mean, yeah, I like either idea. I would love to go watch the Red Sox play in Nashville. I think that sounds awesome. I'd also like to watch them in Montreal, but yeah, they need to get the fuck out of Tampa is the overwhelming, mainly because the fans don't give a shit.
They're not even in Tampa. They're in St. Petersburg. And I hear Rays fans complain like, we have to cross a bridge. It takes so long. I leave work at 5:30 and I can make it up to Boston from Providence in an hour and a half for the game.
Yep.
Stop complaining. Actually show up to these games. They blame the ownership. They blame everybody except for themselves. And by the way, St. Petersburg is about 350,000 people. It's not a small area, even when you take Tampa out of the equation. It's absolutely disgraceful for baseball.
I mean, I've done inexcusable things to go to Fenway Park. I mean, you know, there's nothing I wouldn't do or wouldn't sacrifice to go to a Red Sox game. It's like you cross a bridge. Okay, give me a fucking break. Have you ever been there? Like the parking lot is so easy. The ballpark's so accessible. You walk right in. I mean, everything is just so like they make it as easy as possible for these people, and they're just like, no, we're just not gonna go. It's a dump. Horrible place. But
and then you see JetBlue Park for a spring training game sell out a lot of times.
Packed.
It's like an 8,000 person venue, and you see more people there on a Tuesday afternoon than on a Saturday night at the Trop
for a practice game. Yeah, it's really sad. I agree. Really sad.
Move the Rays, and also I'd love to see them go to those Devil Ray uniforms. Those are awesome.
Those are I'm not gonna lie. I have a Wade Boggs Devil Rays jersey, and it is very, very icy.
It's one of the best uniforms in sports history for sure. Florida has a very good track record with uniforms. If you look at different sports, and
not a lot else.
No,
even outside, specifically outside of sports too. Because now they have the Lightning, they have Tom Brady there, and with the Buccaneers. So sports wise, they're actually doing pretty well, but it's just Florida in general that is designed by hell itself.
Yeah. Florida's tough. Tough. Yeah.
Oh man. But I know. What do you guys got for predictions for this series?
Real quick.
Yes.
If I can get a timeout before we jump into predictions.
Sure.
I just want to mention how fucking terrible Alex Rodriguez is.
I
just don't want us to skip over it because I feel like there needs to be a focal point.
This is a very good thing to touch upon here. Yeah,
he is the absolute worst, and he needs to be removed from a national broadcast. If he wants to be a Yankee announcer, that's totally fine. But he's not even trying to hide it. Really, he's not even trying to hide it. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's bad.
I'm just very glad that ESPN at least does that StatCast version now with Jason Minetti and Mike Petroselli, because it's honestly a pretty good product. I actually learned something from it, which I've never done from A-Rod or Matt Vasgersian. But yeah, now that Matt Vasgersian's out of Sunday Night Baseball too, I almost feel like it's more likely that they're going to just move on from A-Rod and just put a whole new crew together for Sunday Night Baseball, which they should. And I mean, there's plenty of good options out there. Hopefully Dave O'Brien's not with us, moving forward here either.
Mike Monaco 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
This is a Mike Monaco podcast. We are pro.
And we all love Don Orsillo, but I was optimistic about Dave O'Brien, but he's just gotten worse and worse and worse over the years.
Yes, Matt, what were you going to say? You were saying something.
Predictions.
No, not that. No, just going off the. Jack had told me to switch over to the StatCast broadcast. I just wanted to say that is 1,000 times better than the ESPN broadcast. Great, and like Jack, like you were saying, they hit you with stats that you normally wouldn't get with really any type of broadcast, baseball, football, hockey. That's just honestly a great product that they have there. And I know Dave O'Brien. I know Matt LeBeau.
There's Finnegan's Rainbow.
Finnegan's Rainbow. That's what I also wanted to bring up as well. Don't know the reference. I still don't know the reference. I haven't even looked it up. So
no idea what that means. Never heard it. Don't care to hear it ever again.
I know there's like one person listening, like, how do three guys not know what Finnegan's Rainbow is? It's from a Charles Dickens poem from 1835.
He would definitely be the kind of guy that would be like upset about it and try to like plead his case. Be like, well, Finnegan's Rainbow is a reference to
you've heard of this. You just don't even know it.
Yeah, like fuck you, Dave O'Brien. Give me a goddamn break. I hope he gets the ESPN job. That would be awesome. Mike Monaco. I mean, we were talking about this on the podcast earlier. Monaco, he probably cost the Nesson so much less than O'Brien anyways. And, O'Brien can get another job. I mean, fuck him. He's just annoying and boring. And they thought Orsillo was going to be boring when he took the job back in 2001 or whatever. And then, like, everyone was just like, no, this guy's awesome.
He's had such iconic moments, like him and Remy. And I mean, the two of them were just absolutely perfect. The chemistry between them was unbelievable. One of my favorite ones was the pizza video that you watch. The dude
the pizza
hucks
video,
the pizza. That's an all-timer.
Every anniversary when it comes up on like my Twitter feed or whatever, I watch the entire like 5-minute video and I laugh every single time. It's impossible not to.
It's absolutely hilarious. And I mean, there's so many moments. The funniest one is when the guy groped his girlfriend.
Yes.
You can set up on YouTube. And they're just they're laughing. And they're like squeak laughing. And they're just like they're incoherently making just words that make no sense. And then Orsillo tries to go back and he tries to announce the game. And he goes, Marquez. And he's just like he's trying to get out Nick Marquez.
I thought this was a family show.
Yep. That is truly not just like one of the best Orsillo moments. That is one of the funniest broadcast moments in sports history. I don't care what anyone says. I would be hard pressed to find a funnier.
I only wish Dennis Eckersley was on that call right then and there.
Oh my God.
I might have peed myself if I heard Eck being like, and he just grabs the titty. He just like out of nowhere.
I gotta have that.
Yeah.
It's time to party.
Probably about 3 years ago, I went to a Q&A at Bryant University with Dennis Eckersley there. And I asked him afterwards where they have a fan questioning thing. It's like, how do you maintain such a Hall of Fame caliber mustache? He's like, I don't know. I just keep growing it out. And then, afterwards I'm able to get a photo with him. I'm like, hey, thanks for asking my question. He's like, which one were you? I was like, the mustache one. He's like, yeah. Fucker gets grayer by the day.
That's awesome.
I wish we could just have like a rated R version where we could just let Eck rip it out on there and
100%.
actually say what he wants. Like that would be it would be must watch TV every single night.
Yep.
And that's really what I think they should do with like all sports. There should definitely be a version where they have the broadcasters just be able to just let it fly and just be able to really just call the game however they really want to. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I actually, believe it or not, I think we're getting closer and closer to things like that with with Barstool.
Yeah.
Like with those guys, like the live stream, the Twitch streams. I mean, even like where a StatCast broadcast on ESPN. I feel like 10 years ago, we were probably so far away from that to now ESPN doing that. Like they're such a prim and proper, politically correct. Like, I'm not saying that StatCast is, they're banging hookers on there, but
doing
it'd be a lot cooler if they were.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't watch, but I feel like it's just so far away from like ESPN's, I guess, like ideologies. So I think we're getting closer and closer to like, sports broadcasting doesn't need to be this boring, mundane, suit and tie, like, by the book thing. It can be fun. It can be exciting. It doesn't have to be like, family oriented.
Exactly.
So we're getting closer.
So hopefully that's somewhere in the near future.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. And fuck Bronxie.
Yeah, exactly.
And fuck Bronxie. Rest in piss.
Rest in piss, Bronxie.
Rest in the Charles. He's in the river.
Yeah.
Some fucking cement shoes.
Hopefully dead.
This is just like the town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Departed.
Ben Affleck.
By the way,
Ben Affleck killed him.
One last thing about that last Yankee series that we actually even forgot to touch upon the first time recording here. How about that New York Post thing about like why Boston is so much worse than New York? We posted it on our Twitter, so we can save you guys a link here or click here, I should say. But like it was just made up things. I've lived in New England for 8-9 years plus now. I've only ever heard people say wicked ironically. I've never really heard anybody use it seriously. I've heard nobody actually call it Beantown outside of Boston either. I think that's something that just needs to fucking die. And
I feel like people that are outside of Boston call it that more than no one that actually
no one here calls it that.
It's ridiculous. None of those things are accurate.
But Jack, the one thing that we were talking about at when we were having lunch yesterday was the happy
No
hour.
happy hour.
The happy hour thing.
That was the only one on that list that was legitimate. It's illegal to have a happy hour. Like, give me some boozy deals here.
Yeah, which is the stupidest fucking rule of all time.
Yeah, we're a bunch of fucking Puritans.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Our ball is on a budget, man.
No, that is absolutely absurd rule. But yeah, but the New York Post, I mean, and then the girl with there's so many just like
clearly photoshopped on. I feel bad for that, just stock image woman that that they had to use for that blew up on social media and was in every newspaper stand in New York City.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, she's like giving a peace sign, right? And yeah, and they're just the spoofs were like, how many innings did Garrett Cole last?
dude.
Or how many runs did the Yankees score? And it's just this is her. No, I mean, it's constant New York and the Yankees just putting their foot in their mouths. And like you said, Matt, the way you worded it was perfect. They can't get out of their own fucking way. They just can't. It's just they always do something that's just stupid, and it comes back to bite them.
And it's
what was the thing? Sorry, go ahead.
You saw that New York Post cover, and it was just like you knew it was gonna happen.
You knew it. What was the thing Aaron Judge did earlier? He hit a home run against the Astros. And then he did like a celebration where he like
where he covered it up.
Yes,
we're like pretending that he was hiding up the buzzer or whatever.
And then the very next inning, Altuve hit like a walk-off home run or something like that. This was just
it was that series at least. I don't remember if it was the same exact game or anything, but
I thought it was.
I know he did that weekend where Yankees had a big lead, Chapman blew it, and then like just walk-off home run from Altuve with like nobody expecting it, just to really just give that middle finger right back to him.
Yeah. And that was like this always freaking happens with them. It just always does. They just can't get out.
Also, if you're still upset about the Astros, move on with your life. Find 100%. A hobby. Seek Jesus.
Go to church.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Honestly. Christ.
They and the Yankees, the Yankee fans, they say they got robbed of a World Series. I mean, the Dodgers fans have much more of a gripe to say that they actually lost in the World Series. There's no guarantee that the Yankees, if they made it to the World Series and played the Dodgers, there's no guarantee they would have beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers gave the Astros a really good series, a really good competition, that series.
We lost to them in that ALDS, and I've not heard one Red Sox fan be like, we got chipped that year.
No.
And I mean, there was less of a chance of us actually winning it all this year, but even still, like, it's pathetic that it's just that. Well, it is two fan bases. Dodgers have a legitimate gripe, but Yankees will never let it go, and they're not going to win until they let it go because they're just making excuses for themselves.
Yep. Fuck Bronxie.
Fuck Bronxie. I think that's really what everyone can agree on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Whether the Astros cheated or not, whether the Red Sox might go on to win the World Series. Who knows? We all can agree that Bronxie is a fucking clown and he is dead.
I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah, I'm also glad
he
dead.
Died immediately.
Immediately. They don't call him Hunter Renfroe for nothing. He caught that ball and immediately killed a turtle.
Oh, shit.
Dude, I remember earlier this year, like he had that photo with like a fish at like a golf course or something. Like, he knew exactly what he was fucking doing. Yeah,
he caught the ball into his glove and he said, "I just fucking killed Bronxie."
Yeah, no, he caught it with his left hand. He stomped that fucking turtle's head with his right foot.
Yep.
Oh fuck! Jesus awesome. Christ.
Who's the idea? Well, mastermind behind the turtle? Was it Cortez? I want to say
it was Cortez. I believe it's his turtle. Yeah. So.
Oh yikes!
Yeah.
One less mouth to feed, I guess.
Probably, honestly, probably the only Yankee I like right now. I can really dig the mustache. I'm not gonna lie. And he, was a journeyman. It's not like he was a Yankees prospect. He was on the Orioles. The Orioles gave up on him, and then he was on the Yankees actually pitching meaningful innings
I
throughout the
know.
postseason
Oh,
here.
yeah.
If he was
he's
on
good.
any other team, I would have loved him, but because he's on the Yankees, he can suck on a chode and die.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck him and
exactly.
fuck his turtle. But no, I mean he has made a good comeback, and I mean he's got good stuff, but fuck him.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we'll wrap things up. Fuck Bronxie, and
Yeah.
we will
Bronxie.
Fuck Bronxie.
and let's get some predictions here. So I guess I'll go off. I'll start off here. So yeah, Red Sox Rays game 1 tomorrow night. I will go Rays in 4. I think both of these offenses really cancel each other out. I think they obviously both can explode. I think it's going to come down to pitching. Hopefully the Rays, I know obviously the bullpen, the bullpen is their bread and butter. They got a rookie going in game 2. In the Red Sox, they got Eovaldi, Sale. We'll get Erod in game 1. So, hopefully, I know that doesn't blow up. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to say I'll go Rays in 4 here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that anything can happen. It's the playoffs. The Red Sox won 4 in a row now, playing some pretty good ball. The Rays, a lot of young rookie pitchers in that rotation there. I mean, they're going against McClanahan, then Baz. I mean, like I said, anything can happen. I'm going to go Sox in 5 because I think that if they win 1 in Tampa, I think they're in really good shape because you get Sale, Eovaldi, and then, game 4, you're playing in Fenway. Game 5, anything can happen in game 5, obviously. I think key to the game is if the Red Sox can get out ahead early, chase the opener or the starter, whatever they're actually doing, and just kind of consistently hit. If they go cold, they're screwed because the Rays are going to put up runs. The Rays are going to score. They got a good offense and they're consistent. But if they can just avoid those really like cold snaps where it goes 9 through the order and no one gets on, then I think that they'll be fine. And I think that they can easily win this series. It'll be challenging. I'll say Sox in 5.
So the first time we recorded, I said Sox in 5. There's no way I'm not going to say Sox in a series presenting itself here because this team can actually beat, any team in a best of 5 series. Obviously, the Rays are the favorite here. You can look at Vegas. You can look at anybody else. So my brain says Rays in 5, but my heart says Sox in 5. So like you guys are saying, really comes down to the pitching here. They're kind of always able to Frankenstein together a bullpen and a starting rotation to get the most value out of those guys inning by inning. I think they do that better than anybody else in baseball here, but we still have enough talent to actually compete here. And if we can steal 1 in Tampa, win 2 at Fenway, that's all that you really need to do. And even if you need to win an additional 1 in Tampa for a game 5 here, I think that's still very possible. I think both teams are, going to really put it all on the line these first few games. So it really comes down to who can outlast each other in this series here. And I think the Red Sox have a very good possibility of doing that. They've won 4 in a row now. It's, not what you might have expected after a little bit of a cold streak there to end the season.
Sure.
But this team can actually compete. And I think the Rays are going to be the hardest team that they're going to face in this place here, unless they somehow run into the Dodgers or Giants in the World Series. But that's a worry for another day.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, you hit the nail on the head. It's the playoffs. Anything can happen. Teams get hot. I mean, worst teams have won World Series. I mean, the Royals, the Marlins, I'm not saying because they're bad franchises, but if you actually look at those teams, 1 through 25, they didn't have the talent that this Red Sox team has. And I would say that the league right now is kind of in a spot where anyone can win. Obviously, the Dodgers and the Giants are amazing, but the World Series is like anything can happen in the World Series. You're just gonna get there. I mean, look at the Nats. Nats beat the Astros. The Nats weren't a better team than the Astros. They
weren't a better team than the Dodgers.
Right. They weren't a better team than really anyone in the playoffs, but they still got hot. They got some really timely pitching from, some guys that wanted the baseball, and that's the formula. Just fucking win. It's not that hard.
Al
And
Davis.
fuck Bronxie.
Yes.
I don't know why more people just don't do it. They just win. It's
Just
so easy.
win. It's an easy formula. Keys to the game, just win.
You have a 50% chance at winning. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Just fucking win.
Just win, baby.
Just win. Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, we have fucking playoff baseball, a full series, not a wild card game, a full series. We have 3 more games guaranteed. That's awesome. If you told me that in February or March, I would have signed on the fucking line that is dotted immediately. You take that every day of the week. I love it.
All day.
Yep.
All day. All right. So Jack, I know you're the big social media guy. So if you want to break it down for everybody, let us know what we're on, where we're at, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, most likely, if you found this episode, there's a good chance you found it through our Twitter here. NASP podcast, NASP podcast, not another Sox podcast. We are also on TikTok. We haven't posted anything yet. I believe it's the same handle. I know Matt LeBeau set it up here.
And he
we're
will
also
be he will be twerking on camera if
I
the
will
Sox
twerk.
win the series.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some Addison Ray dances. We're also on MySpace, myspace.com/NAS podcast. We really post some exclusive content on there because we know that only the true fans are gonna be able to, access it and everything. So I
Absolutely.
think all of our nudes are on there right now. So
Yeah.
if you want to try looking it
Yeah.
up, see some, really just nice white male bodies. You can look it up
Just
there.
peak.
And then finally,
male
we're
bodies.
yeah. We're on Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
You can ask us anything on there, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Jeeves might become a 4th person on this podcast here, depending on how things go. He was a little hesitant for that first episode, but I think Jeeves is actually going to come out and really talk some Sox here.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. Obviously, that's what we signed up for when we were talking about the podcast. I was like, we should do a podcast. And Jack was like, yeah, I can get fucking Jeeves. And I was like, are you talking about Mr. Ask? I mean, Mr. Ask. If you can get Mr. Ask on the podcast, that'd just be absolutely unbelievable. And so that's why we're here. Also we're on Yahoo Answers.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Tinder.
Rest in peace.
Yep. Rest in peace, Yahoo Answers.
Yahoo Answers.
That's fucking,
unlike Bronxie.
Yeah.
unlike Bronxie. Yeah.
They're
Yahoo
both dead.
Answers will be missed. Bronxie will not.
Not be missed.
Nope.
No, but all right. I think that wraps up episode number 1. It'll be out tomorrow, so you can check that out before the Sox take on the Rays tomorrow night.
Go Sox.
So looking forward to
Go
it.
Sox.
Go Sox. And yeah, peace. See you guys.
Fuck Bronxie.
Yeah.
Fuck
Well,
Bronxie.
yeah. Fuck Bronxie.
Bronxie out forever.
Peace.